It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Force. I am David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back for episode 35, where we are continuing episode 4 month, where we are highlighting and profiling characters from episode 4, the very first Star Wars movie.
Yes,
that
indeed
showed up. Well, fourth in the series,
the
first one.
Yeah.
Of the originals, yeah. Again, we kind of messed up.
That's all right.
But hey, we're going in order of release date. How about that?
I feel like most of our fans are original trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fans anyways, so they'll like it.
That's true. Absolutely. So past couple weeks, first we you have to keep remembering
who
the
we
first
started
name.
with?
It was Cornelius
Evazan. Yeah.
Yes. Then last week we did Biggs Darklighter. Mm-hmm. So we're going back to bad guy this week, and we're going to highlight and profile somebody that actually has come up as a character based when we played the card game.
Yeah,
because he's in my Navy deck.
Yeah,
that is Admiral Motti.
Yes,
everybody, if you've seen episode 4 as much as we have, you right away know who this guy is. He's the guy basically that everybody should remember that Vader force chokes, and nearly kills until Tarkin.
Guy.
Yeah, until Tarkin orders him not to.
Yeah.
So that's Admiral Motti. Now, you find out if you look him up, his full name is Conan Antonio Motti.
Yes. A little Italian, I guess.
A little Italian. Yeah, he's I don't know if that planet's Italian, but he comes from Florian, which is an Outer Rim in the Outer Rim territory. He's a planet in the Outer Rim. But he is comes from a powerful and wealthy family. The Motti family is very powerful and wealthy, which it baffles me every time we do these things where it seems like all the wealthy people are in the Outer Rim, even though those are like desolate planets. You know what I mean?
That. Yeah. Like
even Tarkin's. Yeah, it's so weird. Palpatine. Well, he came from Naboo, but that's almost Outer Rim too. I think it's near Tatooine. So
yeah,
it's weird. I would think all these core worlds would be the bigger ones, but anyway. So Admiral, we're going to talk about Admiral Motti, and just as we'll get to that last. I was going to get to his name. That's the behind the scenes thing. So the first things we need to know, not much about his birth, actually. No real information about that, so we're not really sure how old he is. But by the time he lived through the Clone Wars, but not as a officer or anything like that. He actually didn't join the Imperial Navy until right at the height of the Galactic, or the rise of the Galactic Empire. So roughly around 19 BBY when the Empire started, that he was started to serve in the Imperial Navy, and he soon got promoted to first lieutenant. And he his mentor was Captain James Helaw, who was an admiral at the time aboard the strike class cruiser Ion Storm.
It's cool.
Ion Storm. So he kind of mentored Motti, and quickly Motti, through his power and through his wealth and through his and actually a little bit of a manipulation that he used a lot with his reports and whatnot, he was able to kind of rise through the ranks really, really quickly. Ended up, so basically within 19 years, he became admiral and was assigned to the Death Star with Grand Moff Tarkin and General Tag, who basically I mean, he basically served second in command under Tarkin. So Tarkin was
Yeah.
basically the controller of the Death Star, Grand Moff of the entire Imperial. I mean, I say Imperial Navy, but also something I discovered. There's actually the Imperial Navy and the Imperial Army.
Yeah.
There were two wings, I guess, just like our Army and Navy.
Stormtroopers and pilots or whatever. And
Yeah, well, the Army was all the ground
Yeah.
forces, basically the AT-ATs, the ATSTs, stormtroopers, scout troops, all that stuff like that. And then you have the Navy, which are all the freaking Star Destroyers and you know I-class ships or Class 1 ships and TIE fighters and bombers and all that stuff. So you got the Navy, that's kind of the stuff in space, you know, and then you got the Army that gets on the ground and battle. So General Tagg was in charge of the Imperial Army. Motti was the admiral of the Imperial Navy. So, and they both obviously took their commands from Grand Moff Tarkin.
right.
So that's basically how he ends up on the Death Star. Now, as you dig deeper into who he is, and if you recall from episode 4, I mean, he was very strong in the belief that nothing can destroy the Death Star.
Yeah.
That this is the ultimate power. And what did that leave him to believe there, Case?
Well, I see a lot of similarities between this guy and Palpatine, actually.
Absolutely.
He's very manipulative and had the same like ambitions, although he didn't kill
Only
his
he
family.
didn't have. Only he's not a Sith, you know,
Yeah.
or had knowledge of that.
Yeah.
He's very, very manipulative and evil. Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, Motti also had these delusions of grandeur, wanted power and all that stuff, where he was second in command of the Death Star underneath Tarkin, so he was really close with Tarkin. He was hoping, again, he believed actually, that Tarkin was basically the strongest, he had the most power, because he saw Palpatine as ruling far away on Coruscant, whereas Tarkin was the guy who was in the Death Star. He was the guy that was actually making the big moves for the Empire with the Death Star, because he thought whoever controlled the Death Star basically controlled the galaxy, had the most power in the galaxy. You know, Palpatine was nothing in Coruscant. So Motti wanted Tarkin to kind of take over the universe with the Death Star and almost overthrow the Empire and basically becoming Emperor Tarkin. And Motti actually tried to convince, subtly, he tried to convince Tarkin that he kind of is the most powerful guy in the universe and should take control of the galaxy. And he was basically the end game was Tarkin would become Emperor, then Motti would somehow, accidentally, somehow overthrow Tarkin, and so he would become Emperor.
Yes.
So Motti's ultimate plan was to become Emperor
and kill Vader at the same point somehow.
Yeah, he didn't. He thought Vader was just a lackey. He didn't think he was really important.
Yeah, because he, as you can tell in the movie, like he has no belief in the Force.
Yeah,
like he doesn't think
any
it's
supernatural thing.
Yeah, he thinks that's all just a bunch of rubbish. And,
yeah,
Vader's practicing, as he calls it, ancient religion, and there's no power in that. So it's very.
So basically, Motti was kind of pretending to be loyal to the Grand Moff Tarkin, while he was secretly trying to do his own little wimpy little plans of domination. But we knew that went up in a bang.
Yeah. And it was said to him too that he would, once the Rebel Alliance was crushed, he would be promoted to a Moff, which is ultimately what he wanted as well.
Yeah.
And then he did share some connection to Tarkin through marriage.
Yeah.
Tarkin married his aunt.
Yeah.
Talassa. Yeah, Talassa Tarkin. So there was a relative there.
Gotta promote my
taking
my
orders,
nephew.
taking orders from my uncle. Sound familiar, Case?
Yeah, look at that.
So there was, so that's basically, I mean, that's that's Motti in a sense. There was an interesting story here about the first, basically the the first test of the Death Star.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I was surprised at how much it has been used before.
Absolutely, and how much
Alderaan.
it was attacked.
Yeah.
Like Rebels have attacked it while it was getting constructed. The first one, that is. The second one they didn't even know about until Return of the Jedi. But the first one, because obviously and it makes sense because I guess you saw at the end of Episode 3 that they had started building this thing, and they probably didn't keep it that much of a secret, I guess, or
they didn't do the whole detour, Star Wars detours. It's a shopping mall.
It is a shopping mall. I'm assuming somehow Bail Organa must have found out too. I don't know. We don't know that much yet about that.
Because the rebels were trying to find the plans of the Death Star, so they knew
something that was there.
They knew it was there.
And at this point, it was. It was getting made around the planet Despair.
Right? Yeah.
And so it was near completion at this point, and Motti Motti met with his mentor Helo aboard the Undauntable Star Destroyer, and they spoke about the Death Star. Now, what's crazy is Helo actually is the one that he was trying to convince Motti that with no matter how big you make it, there's always the bigger flaws. Yeah. So he was talking about how there was a situation when the story of Kan Pojo, who was a former Republic soldier and expert marksman. Now, he went on a mission to defeat this pirate gang. He pulled out his blaster to kill this guy, and all of a sudden the blaster didn't work. So the pirate ran up to him and stabbed him and killed him. So he was trying to illustrate, like, no matter how big you make things, there's always going to be a flaw. And Motti was like, no way, this thing. But so he leaves. So they kind of disagree. He leaves, and the Undauntable Star Destroyer explodes. As he leaves, killing Helo. But there was a big kind of, what do you call it, speculation possibly that maybe Motti actually destroyed it himself, or, set it up. But obviously, he claims he didn't, but the ship was destroyed, and they didn't want, and Tarkin, so he gets back to the Death Star, talks to Tarkin about it. Tarkin and them agree that, okay, we need to say that it was a malfunction, but we need to find out. They both believe that it was sabotage, so they wanted to have their own little investigation about it. But anyway, several weeks after that, the Rebel Alliance attacks the Death Star above Despair, the planet Despair. So there's and this is where Tarkin decides to test the super laser.
Yeah.
So what people may believe that Alderaan being the first test was not actually the first test.
Yeah.
They actually destroy Despair, but after they wipe out those X-wings, and that's the thing too, I guess, is. Well, I guess someone must have known they got sent there, but if you wipe out everybody there, no one knows the attack really. But the rebels were, they used the super laser to test and destroy the rebels, the big battleship, and so therefore the fighters were kind of just on their own, and they end up getting shot down by TIE fighters and all that. So, so they weren't. So then he tested the super laser on a planet, and he did it to Despair.
That's crazy.
Just blew it up.
To blow up a planet.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So that, but that again, then because Motti actually started having doubts, possibly about
because
of that Star Destroyer exploding. But once he saw the super laser, it was like this. This is the most powerful thing ever. We're good. We're fine. So. Then it goes on to basically explain what happens in Episode 4. The rebels get the whole of the plans, the technical readouts, and everybody knows what happens. Princess Leia gets them, takes them in. And eventually, Luke Skywalker finds the...
Yes. And Luke Skywalker kills millions of people.
Kills millions.
He's a mass murderer.
Yeah. Everybody get off Superman in Metropolis,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
What about Luke Skywalker?
The greatest murderer in all of cinema history.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are guys. I love the Clerks. The Clerks.
I've heard about it,
conversation.
yeah.
It's like, you know how many contractors were on that shit? They didn't care about the rebels or they didn't care about the Empire. They're just there doing a job, and they're dead now. It's the greatest thing. Like, you imagine getting that deal? Like, how big of a multi-million-dollar deal that is to be the contractor of the Death Star, and then you're on there when Luke blows it up.
Oh my goodness,
that is hilarious. Anyway, all right. So that's Motti. Now, a little backstory about his name.
Yeah,
because if you look in the credits of episode 4, he is just listed as General Motti, and he was portrayed by Richard Leparmentier.
French, I don't know.
Richard Leparmentier. Okay. So he was credited as General Motti. Now, it wasn't until literally the year 2007, right? 2007, May 1st, George Lucas made an appearance on the Late Show with Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And during that interview, he was challenged to a trivia by a fan trivia question. And it was, what is the name of the Imperial officer who Darth Vader force chokes in A New Hope? And Lucas jokingly replied, Conan Antonio Motti, because that is Conan O'Brien's real name, Conan Antonio O'Brien.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, right away, like Wikipedia changed it to Conan Antonio Motti. Yeah. And now, I hope everybody understands that. Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, Wikipedia, which is Wikipedia. It's just like Wikipedia. Actually, it's all fan driven. It's all user.
It has everything
contributed.
EU everything.
Correct, but I'm saying it's not officially done by Lucasfilm or anything like that. It's done by me and you. I mean, you can go on there and add stuff as long as you reference it. So fans started changing it. Obviously, someone got on there and changed it to his name. Well, that doesn't actually officially make it, because everything in the Wikipedia is not technically official. It is usually everything that's in here is referenced back to, like you said, either the movies or books or comics or games, whatnot. So it wasn't until actually somebody at Celebration 4, which I attended in LA, and to confirm, someone was asked to confirm Motti's first name, and Leland Chee there, who worked for Lucas Licensing then, confirmed that it is officially Conan.
Because basically
Antonio
George Lucas said
Motti.
it, so
exactly whatever he says, it goes. That's the bottom line. So his name is basically derived from Conan O'Brien, which is awesome. And that is how he gets his name. So that is Admiral Conan Antonio Motti. Yep. All right. What we got for news there, Casey?
Not a whole lot. If you listen to us on 21 podcast,
this past week,
mentioned this tweet that Bad Robot sent out last Thursday. Basically, Bad Robot tweeted, said, "Hi from the workshop," and it was a photo. It was hashtag Star Wars 7, and it was a photo from the workshop in L.A., or I guess L.A. is California. We have J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, and I think two other guys who might be just construction guys, the guys who work there, I guess. I don't think they're producers.
Prop guys, maybe.
Prop guys, yeah. From the workshop. And in the center of the photo is R2-D2. So that's like the first pre-production still, basically. The first official pre-production still. Just something cool, kind of gives you, build up the hype a little bit. Like R2D2, of course R2D2 will be in episode 7, but this just kind of you see it. You see R2D2.
Absolutely, absolutely.
With Abrams, with all these people there, it's just a very exciting photo. It just gets you pumped up. That Abrams is just right now. He's working hard on Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's probably. I guess that's the production studios. His production studios, Bad Robots, maybe. They added on. They did some renovating to it to do a lot of shooting there. So
yeah,
awesome,
very awesome. Besides that, there's really nothing else. A lot of those casting calls have been going on this past week. Basically, one in Chicago, Manchester, Troy, Michigan. This Thursday is. I think it's this Thursday is Austin, Texas, and Sunday is Nashville one, which I'll be going to. Yes. And the only thing that I've been able to gather from all these is basically what the people are experiencing. It seems to be an average of about 2,000 people showing up, 2,000 to 3,000 people. And of course, not everybody's been camping out, but they've been getting there for about like 2 a.m. for these like early afternoon auditions. It's very interesting. It doesn't seem like, because the Bristol one, the first one, like 4,500 people showed up. Yeah. Only 2,500 were actually seen. I haven't been able to read that same case has been happening. It seems like everybody's been able to be seen at these other locations. I don't know. But the ones in England are getting like 2 days. Like there was 2 in Bristol. And there was 2 in Manchester. Like Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, but didn't you point out that it sounds like they're weeding out the people that have no chance?
Yeah. Well, like people, basically it seems like they're... like we mentioned last week, this is very quick. If you don't have the look, you're done. They're going to barely talk to you, probably like 30 seconds. It seems like people who just don't look the age, who just aren't like... Because the description's very specific. You have to look athletic. If you don't look athletic, they're just going to take a walk. So I think that's... And if you're dressing up as like a Star Wars character. If you're like... Some people have been dressing up as suits or like these big party dresses. To try to like dress to impress kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's not it. And this one girl who wrote a blog, apparently she got a call back. She didn't give her name, I guess to protect herself or whatever from Disney. And she says she got it, she feels, because she was athletic, she was natural and humble, and she dressed kind of casual. She dressed herself.
Absolutely.
And she was confident and building up, she was professional. Where like everybody else were goofy and like just a bunch of fanboys walking in and out. So it seems like there are just... They're being quicker about this process. So that's basically it. And
yeah, we'll have a lot more to talk about next week when Casey gets back from Nashville and his. And if you want to book Casey for anything, I'm starting my own management company here. Yeah. I am representing Mr. Cooley here, so I'm not taking any clients. So he's my only client. So if you want to.
You're pretty strong about this.
But if you want to book him for anything, contact us. You can use the email right there on Inside the Force, info@insidetheforce.com. You can get his asking price from me.
Yeah.
So we'll get more into that. We'll spend a big deal on that next week when we find out inside scoop of what's happening. But I guess check out your Twitter feed, right?
Oh yeah, well, mine personal one, I would probably tweeting it from
Kryptonian1138. Yeah. Check that out this weekend. Casey will tweet some pictures or whatever or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be expect to get in like 2 a.m. because I'll be out there probably really early.
I'll be surprised because what I want to know is if you can tweet it or take a picture of it, like if there's any Star Wars logos anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if it just says like audition. If it doesn't say like Star Wars audition, or
I don't know. I feel
you know what I mean?
Maybe now they might. I mean, there's Star Wars characters walking around, like people who are just like the 501st. They're kind of showing up to some of these to just entertain people who are waiting in line. So it's not like they're not necessarily hiding it, but you're right. Because usually for these kind of things, they'll codename it.
Oh yeah, usually they have a shooting name, but. But I don't know what that is yet. If they've come like Blue Harvest or something like that, but I don't know if they've come up with something like this yet.
I'm so excited about it. I'm very interested.
So, when are the nerves going to start kicking in?
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably be surprised myself, and I'll be totally calm about the entire thing because that's what I'm going to be focusing on most is just being myself and being humble and like I said. Yeah,
but it's hard.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's hard to say that and not because if you're nervous. Because I still get nervous even like if I get in front of the camera still sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, walking in knowing that this is
Star Wars.
Star Wars. I mean, I'd rather not know it's Star Wars.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very
Like,
true. If it
just
was
tell
just
me
a
this
Disney.
is like some shitty independent movie, and I'll go in there and just do it. You know?
Yeah. Well,
But
like it's hard not to get my hopes up, but I'm still very excited. I'm taking this seriously. I'm not just doing it for this like journalistic.
Absolutely. No,
aspect.
absolutely. This is
So I'm actually trying, but who knows? Maybe who knows what can happen? Because a lot of people are getting callbacks.
And I'm actually serious. If anybody wants to book you, get a hold of me.
But because I'm going on Twitter, and if you just go on Twitter and search for Star Wars callbacks or Star Wars auditions, people are tweeting the crap out of this. So that's how I'm finding out a lot of these callbacks. Or people are saying, "I got a callback," like which I'm sure you're not supposed to do. So if I get a callback, I don't think I can tell you guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they're getting callbacks. And I'm like looking at them, seeing what they look like, what kind of people they are, and all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting, yeah, very, very interesting.
Okay,
if you guys want to go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Nashville.
We'll see you.
November 24th. Yeah. They changed it to 12 to 5.
12 to 5 at the Sheraton Hotel downtown Nashville.
And if anybody hasn't been to Nashville, I actually just got to Nashville this year. Actually, last month I went to a football game there, Titans game, and Nashville is a great little city, man. It is. It's a beautiful city. Very clean, very nice. So check that out. All right. So what else we got? We got a couple things I wanted to hit on. The new comic came out last week, Star Wars number 11. Not to be confused with, because we're talking about The Star Wars, which is a mini-series that's out right now, covering the very rough draft of the very first draft of Star Wars. So it's a different story. And roughly the same story, different character names and whatnot. But this is actually Star Wars, continuing after Episode 4, roughly about 6 months after. So number 11, we've been talking about this ever since it came out. Rebels. This is a battle one. This is a good book. So, what do you think about this one?
I liked it. Really, really liked it. I mean, it had a good twist at the end that I did not see coming, nor was I led to believe that there was. I don't know. It was just a very surprising little twist. Nothing crazy, but very cool. I expected, because last week we left off with Luke and Wedge, kind of disguised as stormtroopers in this like fleet. I expected a little more from them, but it was still pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
it was still.
Yeah, this is you can clearly tell it's the arc is coming to an end. I think it looks like number 12 will be the end of this arc because Vader's stepping in. Yeah, there's some stuff that happens with him and his officer that is kind of reporting to him. So that's different, but yeah, you find out something else, a connection with Mon Mothma that maybe we'll talk about next time this comes out. It kind of changes the story a little bit. But yeah, very very cool, very, very reminiscent of almost like Return of the Jedi, where there's a big space battle going on with a bunch of TIEs and TIE fighters, X-Wings.
I'm expecting the next issue to be different, because we've been getting a lot of Rebel kind of victories. I expect the next one to be like really and just insane, because now Vader's a part of it.
And interesting how Han and Chewie are still kind of out of the story. They're kind of just running. This whole time. It's weird how they kind of kept them on the outside a little bit, but yeah,
they just got a cool little break too in this story.
Who's that?
Han and Chewie. They just kind of stumbled upon something pretty cool.
They did. That actually will help
the
further,
Rebels,
further along. So that's out. Check that out. Number 11, Star Wars. Get that at your closest comic shop, or you can get online and get it.
Yep.
Next little news is Fantasy Flight. Come from Fantasy Flight that we've talked about. Star Wars, the card game, of course, on here. We are in the middle of waiting for Star Wars, the card game, Balance of the Force, which is coming out here next month. I'm pretty sure they kind of updated the release of it, saying coming out in December. So the big thing now is this is going to turn the game into a multiplayer game. So Balance of the Force expansion will be able to give you a 2-on-2 versus game, or if you use what it comes with is, and that's with the standard decks that you have. But it also comes with 2 challenge decks, a dark side and a light side, and that allows you to play 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3.
Yeah.
So what they did was this past weekend they came out with, they've kind of highlighted both those challenge decks. Now they just recently highlighted 2 of the 6 objective that you're going to get you're getting 1 additional objective set for each affiliation that you're going to that you can use in the multiplayer game or in the single player game. So they highlighted 2 of those, which are the Jedis and the Sith. And some very interesting cards coming because a lot of it has to do with, it's cool because actually the expansion is called Balance of the Force. So it actually has a lot of cards that deal with the force struggle and help you with the force struggle, which is an aspect of the game. Basically the last phase of each turn, there's a force struggle. For example, like you get an all new Obi-Wan deck or Obi-Wan card. He is same everything as far as like cost 5, damage 3, 4 force icons. His abilities are the same as combat icons, but his ability, his card ability is different. Previously, he was your opponent must place the first card of their edge stack face up. Now he has a reaction. He has, after you win a force struggle, each player, friendly player, so that's if you're playing multiplayer or single, may return the top card of his discard pile to his hand. Now remember, what's key about that is that when you discard, obviously if you discard 1, that goes on top. But if you do a edge battle and you have a stack of cards, you are allowed to put that in any order you want when you discard them. So you could purposely, use Yoda in an edge battle, right? Yeah. Put him on top, knowing that if Obi-Wan's on your play area, that if you win, you could basically put Yoda right back in your hand. So there's ways to get around with that. I think that's actually pretty powerful.
That's good. They still haven't yet made a force pack that's like a good unit for the Jedi, like objective blast.
Absolutely, and that's the hard part about being the Jedi is destroying
Still
objectives.
Trying to figure that out.
Now on the Sith side, we get probably, I would say, maybe the most important EU character, Mara Jade. That's in the game so far. I'm not sure if we've had any expanded universe yet. Actually, anyway, I know they're coming.
Yeah, you're right.
I know they're coming in the new Force packs. They're starting to do expanded universe people, but this might be the first one we actually get. Is Mara Jade, which if you don't know who Mara Jade is, that is Luke Skywalker's wife. Later on in the expanded universe, she is a Sith. She's a former Sith, basically a Sith assassin, just like Ventress or Maul ends up becoming a Sith, but Star Killer, correct. So Mara Jade is a Sith in this deck, and she's pretty powerful. She's 4 cost, 3 damage, 3 force icons. She's got a unit damage, a blast damage, and a tactic. They're all black. She has no edge enabled combat icons. She has targeted strike, which means, that's her ability. So I think there's only 2 other people with that right off the bat, which is Luke, the original Luke, and Han Solo. Other ones can gain targeted strike, but you have to enhance them. She doesn't need an enhancement. She has targeted strike, and she has a reaction after your turn ends. So this is similar. I think this is similar to Luke, the original Luke. After your turn ends, remove 1 focus token from this unit. I think the original Luke was once your opponent's turn begins, remove. Yeah. So you basically have, if you don't commit her, and you only focus her with 1 force token, you basically have her ready every turn, your opponent's turn and your turn. So pretty powerful. And then she's also going to come in a force pack. The second force pack that comes out, she is coming again, but that's even a more powerful card because she gains targeted strike. I think it's like targeted strike. She gains shielding. She gains what is it? elite
Yeah.
when you commit her to the Force. And
Yeah.
if you put her lightsaber on her, she is considered committed to the Force.
Without putting the
commit card on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how powerful this girl is.
I actually have a problem with this.
Do you really?
How powerful they made her cards.
Yeah.
Because she's a powerful Jedi in the expanded universe, but, she's not more powerful than Luke. She's not more powerful than, Vader. It's in a way that she has a lot cooler tricks than these other cards.
Yeah. She's, because, Vader, I said it on Star Wars TCG that I thought Palpatine was probably the strongest card.
Yeah.
He's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But he also costs a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't get him out with normal resources.
Mm-hmm.
You have to expand your resources to get him out. And he doesn't have a lot of damage capability. He just has exhausted everybody. You know what I mean? She doesn't really, one of each, that's not really huge damage capacity. You know what I mean? Inflicting damage. But she can focus you. She can put one of those help you out with somebody else, So the targeted strike is huge, though. The targeted strike is huge. Mm-hmm. That is huge. That is just big time. So I like that. I'm actually surprised that I'm not that more units don't have the ability of getting targeted strike. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what's going on in the card game. I'm assuming they're going to highlight the other 4 affiliation objective sets when they come out here soon. So that leading up to the release of this, which will be next month, and then I think starting in January we start getting new Force packs from the Legends, Heroes and Legends. No, it's called Echoes of the Force cycle.
Okay.
I'm
saying okay because I was thinking okay, I feel like then we'll be getting some more hopefully Jedi cards because we're getting Cal Katarn.
That's in the first one,
and he's awesome.
Yeah,
and I think there's another Jedi.
But I don't think they've released what he does yet or anything. They haven't released it.
I hope then we'll get some better cards.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. We're going to do some trivia. Where are we at on trivia? Let's see. I think we both missed last week, right?
Well, we got it
right last week. So I'm at 19 and 15. Casey's back to 500 at 17 and 17. And let's see what question we got here from Obsessed with Star Wars. So we got 1183. And that is going to come from Revenge of the Sith era. Okay, so 1183. For anybody who wants to, if anybody's confused about this, these are all random questions. Like, I'm not specifically picking, because technically we probably should do all episode 4 trivias, but whatever. We're just going in a row here. This book's been sitting here all week. It just sits here until we open it. All right, so 1183. Here we go. What was a pathway to many abilities some considered to be unnatural? A, the Force. B, the dark side of the Force. C, the Separatist movement. Or D, the Jedi Order.
The dark side of the Force.
Dark side of the Force. I think that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Dark
side of the Force is a pathway. It's in the trailer. Should we just go ahead and do another one? Sure. Let's do it.
Let's see if we can get an episode 4. How about we do an episode 4 one? Let's just do that. Screw it. Let's see.
Just type it in.
Well, no, I'll just not even look at the question. Just randomly get to where we get. Let's see. So we got to get to in the 1300s here. So bear with us. Let's see. That's. I don't think that one is it either. I don't think I can. It's on randomize. So I don't think I can.
You can change the game. You can usually type in the question.
And then type it in. But
that's noises.
Here we go. I think this is it.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got it. Okay.
Okay.
From A New Hope era. This is question 1575.
Okay.
1575. This is interesting. I think, oh man. Okay, 1575. Here we go. From episode 4. What does TIE stand for?
Oh, I used to
know this too.
Okay, go ahead.
A, turbo infused engine. B, Translon engine. C, transfer interior engine, or D, twin ion engine?
D. I'm going with D.
You're going with D, twin ion engine?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, is that right? Okay. It's either that or it's turbo infused.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
Tie. Turbo infused or twin ion? Yeah, I actually think it's D as well, though. I think I don't think the turbo. Okay, so I'm gonna go D as well.
Yeah,
we are
both
right.
I knew it had ion in it, so I was waiting for the ion.
Yeah, I like the ion also. I like the turbo and the other.
Yeah,
but yeah, I went with ion as well. Okay, so
well, I'm glad we know that though. That's good.
we got 2 right. We both got 2 right.
Yeah, it helps our.
So we're actually going to be
stats.
we're going to be 1 up on the episode
Yeah.
number, right? Yeah, because right now we've answered 34.
Yeah.
So now we've answered 36, but that's fine. That's fine. We both got them right. We had to do some episode 4 stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that puts me at 21 and 15. Casey's now at 19 and 17. We are Jedi Masters. All right, so thanks for listening, everybody. Like I said, next week's the last of the month. Yeah, no.
It's next week. We'll get next week.
Is there 2 weeks? No, next week's the last month,
week.
right? Okay, so the last week of episode 4 month.
Right.
So if you got a suggestion on who we want to finish up with, because we really don't know. We're actually leaning towards Jack Porkins because we actually, that's one thing I wanted to mention. We got another great email from you guys. We appreciate all the love. We got another email from Joseph Krug. You guys are the coolest podcasters ever. I wanted to thank you guys for making an amazing job. He actually says, I was curious how you guys feel about Jet Porkins of Red Squadron. And if I can ask you guys, do you ever have lightsaber duels with the toys? And we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
those,
I bought those 3. They're the Force effects, but they're the kid versions.
Yeah, the actual ones you can play with.
Yeah, so I bought 3 of those.
Those are real cool.
Yeah, my daughter runs around with them, and we play.
Yeah.
I got the Vader one, the Luke one, the blue Luke one, and the green Luke one.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always wanted to just go all out with a lightsaber fight.
Well, I'm telling you, we are going to do that one day.
The move video, yeah.
Yeah, we are. Somehow, we got to work out the lightsabers so we can actually do it. Either build our own or buy ones that you can fight with. But yeah, we want to do a lightsaber battle as part of the podcast.
Yeah.
For you guys. So we will be playing with our lightsabers. We will be dueling with those.
I did one movie where we had a lightsaber duel. It was hard because we used golf sticks with the heads chopped off.
That's right.
And I got hit a lot with it. It was hard. But,
but you need to use in order to
to actually fight.
You need something like that.
The thing with those, and I assume it happens with that too.
They bend, right?
They bend when you hit them.
Yeah.
So actually, we shot that scene twice over course of like a couple of years one time because I shot it for something else. We didn't use it, so we had to reshoot it. The first time we actually used our Force FX lightsabers in the duel, and they were bending a lot.
Well, you can even see it whenever like when Hayden and Ewan were practicing, like their sticks were bending. They're metal.
Yeah,
they would bend after a while.
Because you get to learn when you're editing with lightsabers, when you're drawing the blade. It's hard because when you're doing it frame by frame, and so like there's one frame where there's a big motion blur, or like it is bent. And that's when you get the wide, the blade wide wipe kind of look to it.
Yeah, that's right.
When it goes real fast, it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. So, oh man, I had another thought and I forgot. I was gonna say. I keep forgetting. And I can't even believe why I keep forgetting to do this. We have fan films. Now, I mentioned that before, but we don't stress it enough. We have Star Wars fan films that we've made. You can go to directly to the websites, which are the unknowndiscovery.com and riseofthetroopers.com. Rise of the Troopers being the prequel, Unknown Discovery being the first one we made, and then Rise of the Troopers. Or you can go to our 21 Productions YouTube channel, which is /21pro. That's spelled out, 21pro, youtube.com/21pro. Go there. Both films are right there on the page, as well as all the other videos and stuff that we've done. Our complete web series is on there, trailers to our other movies. But our fan films, please watch them. Actually, Rise of the Troopers has got a lot of views on there. Keep adding to it. It keeps going up, so we appreciate that. And we've made those things a few years ago.
Yeah.
But we're talking about making another. Wow. So get some feedback, and please, we get some. We're getting some great email from you guys, some great comments. But I would ask one favor, so that we can get this podcast out to a lot of Star Wars fans. I think the way to do it for us, if you could help us, go to iTunes and rate us, move us up the ladder there, so that when we can get involved in more searches, and then more people can find this podcast, and we can reach more Star Wars fans out there. So we appreciate everybody kind of listening and commenting and contributing. But if you could, let's get some ratings for us on there. Let them know that you like us. So. All right, that's all the plugging I want to do. So, but InsideTheForce.com, you can reach us there. Our email's on there, info@InsideTheForce.com. Twitter @InsideTheForce. Casey's @Kryptonian1138. I am D. Cottingham21. Look for follow Inside the Force. We retweet as soon as these news comes out from Star Wars, from Bad Robot, from Lucasfilm, whatever. So. All right, so after all that, Casey Cooley?
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden force.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Very good.
Yes.
That's Motti.
Motti.
And then General Tag was the other guy saying, the Rebel Alliance will gain favor in the Imperial Senate, or will continue to gain support in the Imperial Senate, and then that's when Tarkin busts in. That's General Tag. That's the guy we were talking about. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate everybody listening. Have a great week. We'll check us out next week, episode 36. Come back here for that, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter @21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.